Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel.
Got Snorlax to start, which is really awesome. We also have Radiant Gardevoir we can put into play. It's going to reduce damage if we are going up against a V Pokemon. Sure enough, it is Galarian Moltres V that we're going up against. Just going to Gormandize. Let's see what else they have in store for us. So Avery, we can use that to draw extra cards. We can also use Marnie, but with the number of cards my opponent has left in their hand, it's probably not wise to do that. Darkrai V, alright, so we're going up against a Darkrai VSTAR build. Okay, Crobat V. And since they're using Dark type energies, they can evolve that Crobat V into Crobat VMAX, which can also attack. But for now, they are going to hand it over to us. We have a Machamp, which is really good. And I'm just going to use Grant for now. Use Gormandize. So the reason why I used Grant, because you can just have access to Grant anytime you want. You can just discard 2 cards from your hand, then recover it, then use it to increase your attack. But at least we'll always have access to it since it is now in the discard pile. So we have Stone Energy to put on our Machamp, and then they might be able to knock out our Snorlax here because Moltres V might just accelerate another energy, and then they can just deal a lot of damage. And they're also using Galarian Weezing, alright. That could turn off our ability if they're using the neutralizing gas. Galarian Weezing. Let's go ahead and Marnie for now. Let's mess up their hand. Let's see what else we get here. And I'm not too worried about what cards we get because we have Snorlax to Gormandize anyways. And I think I'm just going to Gormandize because I don't want to put too much Pokemon on my bench because we might not use Manaphy in this matchup anyways, because I don't think they have any Pokemon that can hit the bench. So now my opponent's Galarian Moltres V is ready to attack. 3 energies on it. Then they're going to use their V-Star ability to get an Ultra Ball and an Ordinary Rod. Alright. An interesting choice. Usually you would reserve that to get Dark Patches to get more energies into play late game, so that you can deal a lot of damage when you need to accommodate for any energy loss you might have. But let's see what my opponent's gonna do here. They just emptied out their hand, guys. So they're gonna start dead drawing here unless they get a really good card from their prize. But for now, we have an energy, we have Evolution Incense. I could use Irida to get Rare Candy, and then we could just knock out this guy, because we can hit for 200 damage. And that's what I mean with Machamp. You don't have to wait until you have 300 HP, guys. You can just attack, because it has such a strong, decent attack. Let's evolve our Machamp. We can put this energy, attach for turn, use Pyukumuku to draw 1 extra card. Alright, cool. Let's just put Manaphy. Strong Arm Lariat. And yes, we will increase our attack. 200 damage, knocking out their Galarian Moltres V. And that's going to get us 2 prizes. We got another Machamp. Cool. So we're just on the roll here. But since I only have 1 Ordinary Rod, I don't really want to use up all of my Machamp all at once. So I may have to get my Hisuian Overquill at some point in this matchup, or just increase my attack so that they won't easily knock out my Machamp. So let's just continue to build up our other Machamp lines. And since we cannot attack, I could just retreat. Yeah, I'll retreat into Manaphy because we don't really need Manaphy. And if they don't have any boss's order in their hand, they may just knock out my Manaphy, and that brings us closer to activating Machamp's ability, actually. But they need to knock out 2 more of our Pokemon to do that. But along the way, we will be hitting for a lot of damage every time we attack them. So now our Machamp will be able to attack again this turn. And with so much damage reduction buffs, we are actually doing pretty good. I'll just get a Bidoof, then we can evolve into Bibarel. That's going to help us draw extra cards in our next turn. And then I'm just going to start setting up my Hisuian Overquill line. And I could use their Stadium to recover an energy. Yeah, let's just use Strong Arm Lariat. I'm not going to increase damage because 200 damage is not going to knock out their Darkrai VSTAR anyways. And I don't know if they'll be able to knock out our... Okay, they have another Crobat, so that's going to help them draw into a lot more cards. Maybe they will be able to build up enough energy to actually knock out our Machamp. But as of right now, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage reduction buffs. They're going to use Dark Pulse, deal 120 damage. They're really dealing 210. But thanks to our damage buff, or damage reduction buff, they, they don't get a knockout. And we don't even have 300 HP yet. So we're gonna evolve into another Machamp, which is really good. Use their Stadium to get another energy. Might as well attach that to our next attacker. And yeah, we're just gonna Strong Arm Lariat for 200 damage, knocking out their Darkrai VSTAR, getting us 2 more prizes. And we have Boss's Orders. And with their Crobat V out in the open, we have Boss's Orders. Doesn't matter if they knock out our Machamp in the active spot. We're going to get this free win in this matchup. So, yeah, not too bad. This is a good showcase for Machamp's power. And that's what I mean. If you want to balance out Machamp's defense and attack damage output, you can definitely do that. But again, I didn't have enough room in this deck to put those choice belts, so I just focused on defense. So we're gonna get this easy win against Darkrai VSTAR. Good game. All right, let's move on to our next match. We are gonna go first, and Snorlax to start once again. Nice. So I actually started my first or preliminary builds with 2 lines of Bibarel, but oftentimes it's so hard to form it because you have to evolve into those stage 1s. So having 2 Snorlax with the Gormandize ability actually for me worked the best because I could just get this basic Pokemon in play and then you can draw a lot of cards even in your very first turn. So for now, I'm just going to set up 1 Machamp. And look at that, we got a Bidoof. And I'm just going to Gormandize. Cool. So we have Hisuian Quillfish to start. And then we have Evolution Incense. We can start poisoning their Pokemon. And, oh, okay. They are... My opponent's using Leafeon VMAX. Leafeon VMAX. So with a lot of retreat cost, it could just easily knock out our Machamp. But since we cannot evolve into Hisuian Overquill just yet, let's just evolve into Bibarel for now. Because once they knock out our Snorlax, we won't be able to draw any more cards. So it's best if you just set up your Bibarel if you can. And then I'm going to set up 2 Hisuian Overquill line. Industrious Incisors for 3. Might as well use Avery to draw 3 extra cards. And I can't use Snorlax because we have a lot of cards. I'll just discard the energy. We can recover 1 anyways with our Raihan later on. And I'm just gonna pitch up Yukumuku before I forget. Another air balloon. Okay, I'm just gonna Gormandize for 2. Nice. So with Irida, I can get Evolution Incense, evolve into Hisuian Overquill, and then we can start poisoning my opponent's Pokemon. They're energizing their Weeping Bell. That is very interesting. Alright. Poison and burn. Nice. But that's okay. That's alright. Got rare candy. We can evolve into Machamp. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I don't usually do that because I don't want to reveal my whole strategy to my opponent, but that's fine. I'll just get Hisuian Overquill. Evolve that. We can scoop up our Snorlax. And we can start poisoning their Weeping Bell. Maybe get 1 free prize here. Pitch up Yukumuku. Draw 1 extra card. And we got a Level Ball. Tormenting Poison. 5 poison damage. And in the next turn, we can knock out their Weeping Bell. And, or at least it's going to force my opponent either to knock out my Overquill. They can retreat their Weeping Bell. Or evolve, okay, into... Victory Bell, huh? Solar Beam, 120. Okay. So Victory Bell, interesting. I like. It's been a while. They have the Aromatic Energy to stop our poison. So Aromatic Energy basically prevents any special condition from happening to their Pokemon. And they're going to attach it to their other Leafeon V. And that's going to be a lot harder for us to deal any chip damage using our Overquill. So I have no choice but to use my Machamp and deal a finishing blow against their Victory Bell. And we don't even have to increase our damage because it already has 50 damage to it. And I'm just going to put this air balloon. Draw 1 extra card. Okay. Strong Arm Lariat. No, we don't need to increase damage. Knocking out their Victory Bell. That only gets us 1 prize, but 1 prize ahead is better than nothing. They will pivot into Snorlax though. And they will evolve into their Leafeon VMAX. So we have a lot of HP to get through with their VMAX, and like I said, because of the Aromatic Energy, we will not be able to poison them with our Hisuian Overquill. So until they knock out one of our other Pokemon, our Machamp will not have those extra HP until my opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards left. So, just gonna use Irida, get Pyukumuku and an Evolution Incense, I guess. Because we don't really need rare candy right now. I could use a switch just in case I need to switch out my active. Pitch up Pyukumuku. Marnie. Okay, that's pretty good. So right now we're reducing damage by 70. I'm just gonna Strong Arm Lariat. We are hitting for weakness, so I don't need to increase my damage. That gets us another prize. So we're 2 prizes ahead of the game. And Galar Mine Stadium. So with 4 retreat costs on our Machamp. Don't know how much damage that's gonna deal. I think it's multiplied by 6, if I'm not mistaken. That's 240 damage. Minus 5. 170? Yeah, 170 damage against our Machamp. Because our HP was not increased, they can easily just knock it out. I could boss one of their Victory Bell line. It only has 50 HP anyways. Yeah, let's go target our Bellsprout. We can't evolve. That's okay. Maybe we can draw something here with Pyukumuku. Overquill? No. No. Okay, well. Yeah, let's just get another level ball. Nope, nothing. I'm gonna attempt to attack with this Quillfish. Maybe we can get something. Oh, you know what? I can thin out my hand. Maybe I can draw into Quillfish with Industrious Incisors. So let's evolve that, or let's recover those. That's gonna increase our chances in drawing into a Overquill. And I don't really want to waste my pot helmet. So let's just draw for 2, see what happens. Okay, we whiffed it. I could bump out their Galarmine Stadium though. That could reduce damage. I think I'm just gonna Gormandize. There's really no point in me risking the attack and nothing happens. That's alright. If they get a knockout here, at least it's gonna increase our HP. Because they're gonna have 3 prizes left, and then we're gonna have 300 HP Machamp. And then we can use like a Cutie, thus increasing our defense even further. Grass Knot, 280 damage against our Snorlax. Well, it has 3 retreat costs, that's why it's hitting for a lot. And the Air Balloon actually helps out decrease damage here, especially if they use Grass Knot. So I'm just gonna bump out their Galarmine Stadium with my Lake Acuity, increasing our defense by 20 because we have Fighting Energy equipped. Just gonna accelerate 1 extra energy to our active Machamp, get a Machop, put this Pot Helmet, draw 2 cards with Bibarel, draw 1 extra card with Pitch a Pyukumuku. Nice, we can evolve into a Machamp in our next turn. So let's just hit as hard as we can against their Leafeon VMAX, hitting for 200 damage. And like I said, the Air Balloon does help because we now have 0 retreat cost. But with my opponent having Skyla, they can just get a Galarmine Stadium. But with 2 retreat cost, it's not gonna knock out our Machamp. And they have 300 HP that they have to get through. And their Weepin' Bell, though, has an ability that poisons and burns its opponent's active. So they still deal 100 damage, 130 total damage with the special conditions. But that's okay. We are still alive. We got an energy from our top deck, which is actually pretty insane. And we got Grant. That is insane. Grant, guys. Grant. Let's just... I mean, I could retreat, right? Let's retreat. And then... can get a knockout against their Leafeon VMAX. And we don't need to increase our attack as we used Grant. And that's going to get us 3 prizes. That is insane. And we're getting a bunch of stone energies. So that's going to increase our defense even further. Dude, I'm telling you guys, Machamp is the champion of comebacks. As long as you're not going against a unfavorable matchup, you can tank a lot of hits. And even though your opponent thinks they're getting ahead in prize, slowly knocking out your Pokemon 1 turn at a time, they won't know what hit them once you start building up your Machamp. So another hit, they don't get a knockout there. That's 200 damage, almost 200 damage, because we basically have 4 retreat costs on our active Machamp. But that's alright. I can just attack with full damage against this Leafeon VMAX, because they're going to knock it out anyways. So 200 damage, and we're not going to die yet, despite the special condition, because we have so much HP. And I mean, the best thing that my opponent can do is switch into their other Leafeon VMAX, and then they can just knock out our active. but that will mean that they're gonna discard energies in their active spot because they don't have a tool card that will help them to retreat. So with the Galar Mine Stadium, oh, they actually need 4 retreat costs. They can't really retreat. So that Galar Mine Stadium actually went against their favor. So we're just gonna take this win, guys. With our new Machamp in the active spot, we can use Grand even to increase our attack even further. And we're just gonna attack with Strong Arm Lariat for the win against the Leafeon VMAX. Good game. Alright, let's get into another match. This time my opponent's gonna go first, and we're gonna start... we could either start with Qwilfish or Snorlax. I'm gonna go with Qwilfish for now. We could start attacking as early as our second turn. And that initial knockout will set up for our Machamp. But yeah, ooh, this is very painful, guys. We are going up against Lunatone Solrock and Mewtwo VSTAR. So Machamp is weak against Psychic. I don't have any counters in this build against these types of matchups. So we're just gonna do our best. I mean, if I evolve into our Hisuian Overqwil, I can slowly knock out their Lunatone between 2 turns. But it doesn't matter how much HP Machamp has, they're just gonna knock it out easily. But let's see how well we can do here. Just put an air balloon. I think I'm gonna go for Snorlax. Use Avery, have them discard 1 card from their bench. Then we can use Level Ball to get another Qwilfish. And then we just put this air balloon. I'm just gonna Gormandize. I don't want to put too much liability because the more Pokemon you put in play that you're not gonna use, the more targets your opponent will have. So I have Qwilfish. To evolve into Overqwil. Since they are using Mewtwo VSTAR, we could get 2 prizes off of this, and that could still level us out in terms of price exchange, and then just knock out their Lunatone. And then we still have access to 1 Avery. We could still disrupt their bench, where they will not be able to accelerate as much energy to their Lunatone. Let's see what happens here. Sun Energy. So the whole strategy, I have a video on this one. You just basically energize your Lunatone with your Solrock, and then Mewtwo VSTAR can just keep attacking, and then you just keep recovering those energies. So we're just gonna do our best here, see what we could do. Okay, Psypurge for 180 damage. So they discard 2 energies for that. It's insane, man. 180 damage. So I'm just gonna evolve into Hisuian Overqwil, and I'm just might as well just set up all of my Machamp line. Tormenting Poison to deal 5 poison damage. And with 2 retreat costs on their Mewtwo VSTAR, that's going to expend their energy attachment this turn if they don't have a switch, if they want to remove that poison. But if Mewtwo VSTAR sticks in the active, I mean, we still need an energy to our Machamp and deal a knockout against their Mewtwo VSTAR, and they're already energizing their Lunatone, so this is definitely a scary matchup, guys. I don't know if we're gonna be able to win this, but We're just gonna do our best. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if what do you think will be a good combo to Machamp, especially something that can counter Psychic type matchups. Do let me know in the comments below. The only thing is with Machamp, it is a stage 2, and really a lot of evolution cards are needed to fill the deck, the entire deck. That's why it's so tight. There's just little options for you to add extra cards. So I'm just gonna evolve into Machamp. I mean, I could just concede, but let's just, I just want to see how well we can do here. I'm going to use Marnie. That'll mess up their hand. Hopefully start energizing this guy. And then I'm just going to Gormandize. Okay, so we have Irida. We have like a Cutie that can reduce damage even further. And I don't know how many Lunatone my opponent has in play. Ooh, they're gonna boss my Machamp. No, or Machoke. Look at that. Even with the defense, I mean, 130 damage for one single energy. Still, man, that's not nice. So I'm just gonna pivot into Machamp. I can always just retreat it, but I wish I had a right hand here. So now we don't have an energy even to attack with our Machamp. Let's use Pyukumuku. I have no choice but to use Irida. Get rid of that. Get Radiant Gardevoir. And let's pitch up Pyukumuku. See what you get. Okay, we have Overquill. All right, it's not too bad. That's not too bad. But we're way behind in prizes already, guys. This is not good. Cause yeah, I'll just retreat into Snorlax, Gormandize. There's not much I could do here. There's the right hand, but it's one turn too late. And with one knockout here against our Snorlax, they can easily just knock out our Machamp for 2 more prizes after they knock out our Snorlax, and that's going to be game. So most of the time Machamp does really well, but against Psychic matchups, it just, my deck build just doesn't cut it. See, Lunatone with 3 energies, that's 120 damage. Hitting for weakness though, Lunatone can hit for 240 damage against our Machamp if they have 3 energies. But if they have 4, yeah, that's a lot of damage right there. Moon Kinesis, 150 damage, so that's 300 flat damage. Minus reduction, though, we can actually survive an attack against a Lunatone, now that I think about it. Let's use Raihan. Accelerate and energy. Get Avery, so we can disrupt them in our next turn. And we're just gonna expend our Evolution Incense. We don't have the barrel, unfortunately, it is prized. I'm just gonna Strong Arm Lariat, and we have to use extra damage because it has resistance to fighting, and we're not gonna be able to knock it out if we just deal 100 damage. 100 minus 30, that's 70 damage. And with the 90 HP Lunatone, that flat 100 damage is just not gonna make it. And I don't know, it's just such an unfair advantage. I don't know why Psychic has so much buff against fighting types, but not only are fighting types unable to attack for full damage because of resistance. You're also dying because of weakness against psychic types. They're gonna Marnie my hand though. So we're gonna lose our Avery, unfortunately. But that's okay, because if we use Avery anyways, they might just discard their Mewtwo VSTAR, which we might actually need so that we can gain that 2 prize ahead of our opponent. But at least they don't have any Lunatone in their bench right now. So as long as we can knock out their current active... Dude, we survive an attack. 220 damage. I'll take that. Let's go. So we survive an attack. Put this pot helmet. We might be able to survive an attack if we use Overquill. And then I could just hard retreat. At least we survive 1 attack. I'll just Marnie for now. See what we get. We have a scoop up net. I could just scoop up this guy so that we don't leave this liability in play. Because if we hard retreat, it's going to be the same. We're just going to lose those energies anyways. But yeah, I think I'm just going to scoop it up. And then let's just use Overquill. Unless they have a boss in their hand, then we're done for. So, Tormenting Poison, 50 damage. That's going to force them to retreat their Lunatone to something else. But when they do, we could just continue to poison whatever they put in the active spot. Then since we have a boss, we could get a knockout against their Mewtwo VSTAR to get us 2 prizes, and then go from there. Hopefully we can continue to tank hits with our Machamp and then still be able to win this game. They are starting to energize their Mewtwo VSTAR though, but it is close to getting knocked out, so I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Okay, they just transferred that 1 energy onto Mewtwo VSTAR. But they will still need a Lunatone to get those attacks in. So 90 damage, and then that poison knocks it out. Our Hisuian Overquill survives an attack, which is pretty awesome, thanks to the pot helmet. And they're gonna present their Radiant Greninja in the active spot. Let's scoop up this Overquill, and then we can use it to poison their Lunatones again. And I'm just gonna get a knockout against this Mewtwo VSTAR. And with a 30, yeah, we can still knock it out. 320 total damage, getting us 2 prizes. We are getting there, guys. We're getting there. I can't believe we're actually getting there. And we still have Avery in the deck, so we might just be able to win this matchup. It's very tough, but we might be able to win this matchup. But at least you know what my thought process is when facing off against these types of matchups. And the strategy that's needed. You really have to adapt to the type of matchup that you go against. And it is helping though. Machamp's HP does help. And that extra damage reduction helps it to survive at least an attack from Lunatone, despite hitting for weakness. Because Lunatone really has the potential to one-hit knock out any Pokemon in the game if you put enough energies onto it. And look at all those Soul Rock, man. That is so scary. They also have Training Court Stadium to energize their Mewtwo VSTAR. But they still don't attack. Okay. If we get a hidden prize here, we might be able to win. This is actually pretty crazy. Pitch up Yukimuku. Okay. Evolve into Bibarel. See what we got in the deck. No Evolution Incense or no more Rare Candy. So we can't even evolve into another Machamp. Let's see what we can do here. Might as well thin out our deck, put Manaphy in play, put this energy on Machamp, draw for 2. There's the Avery, guys. The Avery. Let's go. Let's bump out their stadium, increase our defense. Avery to disrupt my opponent's bench. They'll have to discard 3. Most likely 2 of the Soul Rock, which is pretty significant. And that's going to reduce... that's going to prevent them from accelerating extra energy onto their Lunatone. But right now, we are still in danger of getting knocked out here. All they need is 1 energy to put on their Radiant Greninja, or if they have the switch, you can just knock out any of our Pokemon. So, I'm just going to retreat into Hisuian Overquill, attempt to knock out this Radiant Greninja. If they can't take it out of the active spot, never mind. Never mind. But that still disrupts them, because if they don't have any other Lunatone in... I spoke too soon. Oh! Bro, this matchup is super, super tough. Okay, we have Ordinary Rod. We can get a Machoke back into play. And then we can evolve into a Machamp at some point. Okay, we got a right hand from the top deck, which is pretty good. We can knock out this Lunatone, and with no other Soul Rock, we might be able to tank a hit from the Lunatone that they're trying to set up, and we could get that last knockout. We could still win this match, guys. We could still win it. But we'll see. So... let's use Raihan. Let's see what's the best thing to get here. Get Grant increased damage. Just use that. That's fine. Use Ordinary Rod. Just get Pokemon. Get Machoke and a Machamp. Industrious Incisors. Machamp, okay. So I'm gonna go for it. Strong Arm Lariat. Yes, we need to increase damage to get this knockout. That gets us 1 extra prize. We got Rare Candy, bro. Let's go. Let's go. We might be able to tank a hit here, even if they can accelerate 1 energy with Soul Rock. Energy attachment. That's 120, 240 damage, minus 40 damage reduction. We can tank a hit. We could win this game, guys. No, they're gonna scoop up 1 extra damage. 300 damage. No! No! They had the boss. Oh, we were so close. Oh, good game.
And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.